Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where today we begin kind of a strange phase of our diplomatic victory journey. So you can see from this table here, we are at 1.1k victory points, and I don't believe, mousing over anything here, yeah, there's maybe not a way to get the actual value? Oh, you know what? It might be on the diplomatic screen. Yes, okay, we are at 1118 diplomatic victory points, earning 41 per turn. That's 5 times from each of our alliances, and then unfortunately the necrophage is never going to give us more than 1. As things stand now, in order to win, which is to reach 3,250 diplomatic points, we would have to just sit here and maintain for 50-ish turns, right? A little bit more than 50. In terms of victory pace, that's not great. It'll put us around turn 131, which, there's a pretty good chance that the one of the AIs will win before then. But also, we have to remember that that idea is based on everybody deciding to remain allied with us or not having the resources necessary to break our force alliance loop. That's probably not going to happen. That's the thing that is probably too slow to work is almost certainly an over-optimistic view of the way things are going to go. So we are going to have to just really power up influence generation where we can and try to make sure that we are in position to make a lot of deals. Now, the Influence Wonder is the only one that hasn't been built yet, and in fact, nobody's even tried. And it only requires 35 of each resource. The roving clans went for the dust one, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the fact that we're still showing up as 1 of 8 here means that this is fully available. We should build this for sure. So we're taking 1.6 in of each of these. That said, there is Hyperium and Mithrite on the market. Perhaps a thing to consider next turn when we have actual cash coming in. Yeah, that's interesting. There's also... Okay, there's a couple of science stockpiles left. That's a good idea. We're going to need Hyperium for this as well. There is, of course, an endgame technology that is relevant to our thing. So part of the way that we could try to push victory speed a little bit higher is to research our way into Era 6. Obviously, we're pretty behind scientifically, and we really don't have a lot of tech in total. My suspicion is, given the slow research that we did at the beginning of the game, we're going to find this very difficult to pull. But even just getting into the next era will help, because there's the Arena of Champions, there is the Imperial News Network, which very slightly increases yields. The Arts Council would help. So we have options, just not as many as we're used to. All right, in terms of our faction quest, okay, that's a 1. So if the Abbey of Anomalies counts for the purposes of our faction quest, we should see this number jump up to 2. And if that works that way, then the turn after, we will just be done with it, which is pretty good. And hopefully everybody will be too distracted by their enmity toward each other to form very much enmity toward us until it is too late. Okay, the Abbeys do count. Great news. Not super relevant, potentially, because we're going to be done with... we would get to 3 normal boroughs quite quickly anyway. Alright, let's talk about perhaps building one of these wonders, yes? Because, we even have a place where we could put it and we'd be able to level it up very quickly afterward. Yeah... Let's see about committing to that build this turn, because we have a pretty productive city here. We have Titan Bones running. I don't see any reason that we couldn't potentially make this happen. So we need 7 Hyperium, which is very expensive, and 6 Mithrite, which is somewhat less so, so that we can queue up and start overflowing into it immediately. And that's going to lower the cost of our turn 100 Empire plan significantly, so that saves us influence that we can use to do the other thing. Very pleased with that. We are going to need to get to 12 population to be able to run the other borough out here. And of course, that is a thing that we do want to do. So, yeah, maybe the next food stockpile goes in that city or something. Okay, what is next? We still don't have cargo docks, and I probably should. I know we only have one city where we're thinking of building them, but the cargo dock here does level up a district, and it does enable ocean trade across Dardagar because that region is adjacent to Dardagar. And that's, you know, well, I was going to say there's a lot of players touching that ocean region. It's not actually true. Karamar, unfortunately, insulates Juliarn and Smezroth. Isield is not really a place that we're going to be able to trade with. It's too far from the coast. And unfortunately, most of this coast is necrophage. Yeah, actually, the cargo dock may not may not yield very much value for us at all. Well, that's a shame. Okay, were we headed anywhere in particular? I don't think so. Let's just get back to our territory. We have lots and lots of pearls to scoop up. Where's my land army? Okay. I was going to say, they definitely have orders, right? That's just a small amount. Yeah, let's just run over here. We know there's a big cluster to be collected over here. Oh, and we have our ancient who can join them. That said, I would definitely like to wait until they are actually all together before picking up the pearls. Because, you know, it is worth a little bit of XP. Do I... Gosh, we still have very few places. We are allowed to build the nursery anywhere we want, but very few places where that kind of thing is useful. There's no sense in building a watchtower here. We could pump out more units, I suppose. Maybe just focus the city on food generation for the moment. And yeah. Okay. So you're moving as much as you need to move. And that city will have something more relevant to do soon enough. Definitely get this dust refinery up. I care about that. In Ovoru, we're probably going to want to fill in some space, right? Yeah, in fact, Abbey of Anomalies. The whole point was to go Abbey of Anomalies over here, right? Yeah, because this is a pretty wonderful district. Or place for a district, rather. And then we probably just burrow there. And in Morkdra... I mean... Yeah, it's still pretty weak here, but it's something. Okay, so you are as far as you need to go. We still have a little bit of money left. Is there any luxury resource that we're close to? I mean, we could probably buy the moonleaf we need. There's lots of blood crystal available. There's not enough for us to run a booster of most of the things that we care about, except for the things that we're already running. And I may want to save money to buy strategics potentially. Yeah, let's hold on a second there. Alright, I do think getting that burrow done was worthwhile, because obviously we're picking up a bunch of industry right before starting work on a wonder. Is this city still holding fervent? It is, okay. Tinu the Chosen can give this city a little push. It's a good time to be Tinu. And we have acquired our exotic armor, which is fine, I guess. Kahangana worries over the reports concerning the artifact. What is the true purpose of the Draken? Could the Drakenlings be some piece of their great plan? She must sleep, but fears her dreams. I don't think I've said it explicitly, but y'all know they obviously is the Endless. The reference to them warring with themselves is, of course, the conflict between the Concrete Endless and the other ones. I'm forgetting what the other faction of Endless was called. You know, the ones who thought they should all turn their brains into computers and stuff. The Virtual. Prapaheni's slumber has not been restful. She awakens ill at ease and restless, wondering what news has come of the strange artifact. Before the archivists and lore masters are even part of the way through their reports, she stops them. Rewriting history is of no use to the Draken. The Draken have a responsibility and a way to execute that responsibility, and cracked theories will not help them. She forbids further study of the object. Were it in her power, she would have it destroyed. The mission of the Draken is not compatible with their sacrilegious ideas, and she will have nothing to do with them. No, the way of the Draken is to grow tall and strong, to lead by example, to impose their will upon the mighty, and to preserve and protect the weak. She will not take off on flights of fancy like Kehangana. She will instead show the glory of the Draken ways. The artifact in question is merely a gift and a trinket. It will be treated as such. Ignore the artifact. Capture the city of Mirinlar. The city of Mirinlar. Who is the owner of this city? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's deep in Purple's empire. That's simply not happening. I should hope that that's quite obvious. Alright, so this is where our faction quest ends. If we could get them to trade us the city for some reason, maybe that would be interesting to pursue, but yeah, I'm not at all interested in going to war over what will probably not actually be a very interesting deep faction quest reward. Maybe we get some kind of crazy unique tech at the end of it that will help us with our diplomatic victory, but I'm not too concerned about it. So what should we be doing? I guess, hold on. I didn't actually think about equipping the artifact. I should note, though, what it actually does. So if we equip it here, it doubles the XP gain on the army or the garrison that the hero leads, and it also gives a great big vision range boost. To be perfectly honest with you, it might be reasonable to throw it on here, and I mean, as long as we're in here, it probably also makes sense to... Yeah, let's just do this stuff. Now keep in mind, with the exotic armor technology that we just got comes some pretty powerful trinkets. We do now have the ability to get +4 science per citizen working on science and +4 dust per citizen working on dust. So it's possible that we will want to equip a bunch of these titanium tomes to help push through that endless tech, if that becomes a thing that looks like it's possible. It is not my primary concern at the moment. Obviously, a lot of our cities are focused on building things that will help us in the longer run. So yeah, I think everybody's good there. Did I update the Drakenling design? Because we should definitely do that. We should have a standing army that is showing numbers that are as high as possible. You know what? We can afford to do the dust gear. The dust gear is only marginally better. A tier 1 dust is only marginally better than the iron. And y'all know I usually just don't even bother with that upgrade. But in this case, we can certainly afford it. I would definitely rather have life than defense on this unit in particular, because our defense is already high enough. 2116. That difference is probably significant enough to be worthwhile. Okay, and it's not even an expensive retrofit. And then, of course, we have Fakir driving our army values up. Fakir has managed to level up to level 2 from just sitting around, which is pretty fun. Stats are okay. And then we got a handful of lice as well. Obviously, your Urkin gets better at combat very quickly if you use them for combat. What is the buyout cost on this? 64. So if we were willing to take it easy for a second here, we could rush this out a couple turns early. And honestly, it's probably not worth doing that over like buying huge amounts of science stockpiles, or buying huge amounts of science via purchasing stockpiles. Without that on the table, that might be the next most sensible use for our money. Definitely happy to have this, though. So, what are we flowing into after grabbing that? It might make sense to, go back and get canal locks, honestly. Glory of Empire, I guess, like, do we want every little bit of influence generation tech? Is that sensible? Yeah, I mean, I guess let's get them. Let's just get a couple of these really early researches done. But yeah, I probably should have researched hydrology earlier, because it is very nice to have the canal locks. Alright, so this city now has access to the cargo dock. We may as well do that. And then also, population happened. A borough is definitely more productive. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, a borough for the city, definitely more productive than the Drakenling where we were building. Oh, and we got Cold Warred by somebody, I assume. Yep, so our trade routes get all screwed up for a turn. Okay. We're just gonna have to keep doing that. I mean, it's fine. It's working out fine, right? Probably a good idea to... Do you have an abbey already? Yeah, you must. Okay, so... Yeah, just burrows. Oh yeah, there's the abbey right there. You can tell because it's the one that's like flat and circular. It's a pretty non-standard design for an abbey, I have to admit. It's another 11 pearls that Red thought they were going to take from us. Remember, the deal with Red, the Alayi, is that they require pearls to build several things that are actually pretty important to them, including their unique replacement for the borough streets. So they can't expand their cities without a significant number of pearls. That is useful both when you are not playing the Alayi. That is useful both for knowing that it's important to deny them the pearls, and that you can get a lot of value out of an Alayi player by trading pearls to them a lot of the time. For the moment, I'm gonna take stuff and not make a big deal of giving it back. Basically, we should definitely commit. You know what? We can just buy that out right now when the yeah. Then we build this here and it'll level up both of those at once. Sadly, we are not really making very much food. But that'll add a nice amount of industry to the production here. Yeah, I think that did lower the number of turns. Right, because I think it was at 6 before, so. Well worth it. And then, of course, there it is. Keeping an eye out for those stockpiles. Maybe the buyout's not even going to be necessary. Yeah, okay. Problem solved. And that'll get me my will get me my point of population for the borough as well. So we are just climbing the tree, but I suppose it is worth noting that having a Broken Lord, I didn't really consider this, but having a Broken Lord Governor in Morkdra is actually pretty great. That skill that we just took a point in does affect both strategic and luxury deposits. That's 0.5 resources per turn per extractor. So, yeah, this Morkdra is a lovely place for you to be, although it'd be a lot better if I got some of my extraction techs up, which is a thing we can absolutely do. Let's maybe talk about those. Okay. So, it is, in fact, time to start building this stuff out. This is maybe not the place that needs it the most, but whatever. We'll get them done everywhere eventually. And honestly, buying those out may be the next most sensible use for our money. So here in Morkdra, do we want to... I mean, I guess we want to burrow out more. We could build one of the extraction speed increasers here. In fact, that's Red Sang. That's where we should build that. Let's buy that technology. I'm totally doing it. Yeah, a luxury intensifier. Because we only have the one source of Red Sang in the whole empire, right? So it is going to take some work. We're not going to actually be able to build that until we have the appropriate extractor tech, which we'll get to soon. And then if we build the city like this along these lines, we can put an intensifier over top of the Hyperium as well, which will be very good news. And you... Ooh, red is definitely in full-on pearl grabbing mode. Hopefully they'll just lose sight of me in the fog bank here and think that they don't have to rush for this one. I mean, it's only 3 pearls. I guess it's probably not a big deal. I want to build special districts of every single type, and that's going to require an awful lot of pearls. So we simultaneously finished that and leveled up 2 districts there. Lots of tall buildings coming up. I think the Draken have some of the most dramatic visual differences between their level 1 and their level 2 districts. So the level 1 districts are extremely flat, and as soon as things leveled up, it's like, ah. Oh. That's the sound of a building being tall, apparently. In my head, it made sense to me. We probably want the winter immunity, but I could definitely see just taking the, hold on a second. Let me, so we don't know. I mean, none of these effects are very, well, first of all, they're not relevant to a city. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess winter immunity is not that bad. It's basically just doing these 2 things. So maybe we do, in fact, for Tinu, just focus on maxing out Inspirational Leader first. And then we can worry about the other thing. All of the other stuff, in fact. Huzzah! First to claim construction of this legendary building. It does feel pretty legendary. And then we can level it up a little bit. And it will be even more legendary than it was previously. And then... why am I getting... Huh, the Abbey of Anomalies is causing there to be food on this tile? That's weird. Yeah, we're also reading +3 food here and +3 food. That's probably not supposed to be that way. Yeah, because it's +3 food on terrain, so the volcanic taint should still be removing it, I would think. Weird. I think we will build the canal locks here as well. That's probably sort of a more important... Maybe focus on that a little bit. Buy out the big expensive science buildings. And as more cities become available to build thing, we're just going to have to buy more. Oof, okay, well, this is the last time we're buying more Hyperium for a little while. Get used to it. And then we have a luxury intensifier available here. We could intensify our dye. We don't really need to do that, probably. Alright, lots of expansion. Leveling up districts is a pretty stable and reliable way to get access to influence. So, oh no, I am allowed to luxury intensify this even before we have the tech. Huh. Interesting. Well, okay, I'm certainly not complaining about it. Oh, right. Remember to fire that. That's obviously valuable. And then, do I want an Abbey boost? I was kind of thinking we'd wait until we got over here. Because, like, an Abbey there actually gets us more resources. I think that's probably still right. Let's put this one down next, because I do want to reach out to the Hyperium quickly. But I think we're going to save money for rushing the big science buildings. All right, and you still have so many pearls to scoop up. All right, we are going to get this one, and maybe we'll pull some of these. These are 3 dot. That's 6 pearls. This one is 8. Yeah, those would be lovely to have. We don't even have the design for the strategic intensifier yet, so yeah, we have a lot of money, or a lot of pearls to pay out yet. I don't know if the strategic intensifier is going to be super relevant anywhere else, but I do think it's absolutely worth paying the cost for buying the design and building it just to get 1 Hyperium. You know, those third tier resources are super valuable. People have very strong feelings about them. Also, can I say, I'm very surprised at how little we've seen people struggling against the forced alliances. I was expecting this to be a thing where people were going to be backing up on us like every couple of turns. Not any one person, but, you know, between the lot of them, that we'd have to fix something every couple of turns. And they really have been, they've been remarkably chill. I wonder, to some extent, if that's like them being busy. There's a lot of war going on outside of our borders that we are thankfully getting to ignore. And it absolutely could have to do with that. Let's grab ourselves even more anomalies, if you can imagine it. Gonna be doing a lot of that. Give me this for sure. Is there more? There is a Hyperium. I am purchasing it. No stockpiles. We'll keep looking over here. Okay, yes, some stuff is hitting the market. It's not stuff we care about. We do have Dustwater income. It's not enough to maintain the booster by itself. So we should probably buy the Dustwater that is available. We can drive the price up here and encourage people to sell. Sure, it'd be cool if we could have that booster. You know what? There's enough spices. And we probably have the money for this, depending on how sharply the cost rises. Yeah, it's not too bad. We should absolutely have spices running. Especially since winter just ended, and we know we're going to get the full value out of that. All right, continue to grow, continue to level up. So when this levels up, it gains another 50 influence by itself. That's pretty good. And eclipse time already, huh? That may necessitate a change of direction. You know what? We'll just travel along the roads up to where the stuff is, the ruins. No regeneration on units for 9 turns is a thing we have to care about a little bit, because we do have a lava river running through our territory. So, you know, let's be cautious about that. It turns out I am less concerned about winter than I am about huge amounts of bonus population. Yeah, the AI is being remarkably chill. We're not keeping a very close eye on the wars, and I know that there are other people. Like green and brown have been at war for some time. This is pink now, somehow. What happened there? Okay, pink is at war with red and just red. Green is at war with nobody. Smart moves. Red is, okay, just at war with the necrophages. It's a war that neither one of them is in a meaningful position to prosecute, probably. And aside from that, it seems like the world's a peaceful-ish place. There's probably some amount of influence of just us being friends with everybody, right? Everybody is like, we have a common ally, and so they are being chill. In places where we can build the Oologic Nursery, it's not necessarily sensible to do so. It consumes a lot of glass steel, and all it does is add 10 food. I think I am going to pull back to this. We're going to maybe focus on that Abbey a little bit. Nobody has sold any Hyperium, which is very sad. So maybe we are going to buy some of that stuff out. I could also just use the dust as dust, right? Like, we are allowed to trade for resources. Let's rush this out. And I'm going to go ahead and buy the strategic intensifier now, the design, because we know we're going to want to use it. It does feel, it feels very wrong to pass with this much resource up, so we will certainly be doing something with it. We're getting to the point where a National Museum for you starts to make a lot of sense. Probably true of an alchemy lab as well. And I have to imagine, with a 30% discount from our Throne of Emperors, we're going to be able to execute the Empire plan that we want, right? It's probably not going to be a big deal. Alright, so eclipse time is upon us. Looks like we are not getting a really easy movement conflux. There is one back that way. It's probably worth reversing. On turn 1 of the eclipse, probably worth reversing direction to grab that. Alright, so we'll get to here pretty quickly next turn. And then, what is this? A warning. So green is trying to reduce the cost of terminating their alliance with us. Oh, I constructed an influence-related building. I forgot that was a quest that we had. If we return... Ooh, now tier 3 adamantium and palladian weapons. Those are some real numbers. What ruin do I have to inspect? Okay. I know that I had given you some orders. Your orders are different now. I want that very badly. Also, now that we just got handed 25 red sang, still not quite enough to actually fire the booster. Well, I am going to buy all of it. Somebody did, in fact, sell some dust water once we drove the price up, which is great news for us. Okay. And we have our proper extraction tech now, so we can get the... We are getting the red sang from that extractor. Strategic intensifier could be built over top of... Oh, yeah, you know what? Absolutely do that. That's a palladian extractor. I would love more palladian. I don't think we want the luxury intensifier so badly. I don't think that's a real concern. I think we can probably, in this city, move back to food for a bit. Or maybe I should be, like, pumping hard on science? We're not that far off the next era. Industrial processing might be worth having. Oh, we don't have endless mechanisms yet. That's the thing that's absolutely worth having. We're about to search a bunch of ruins, and yeah. I missed another one, Morktra. You know, it's all tucked away up there. How's anybody supposed to be able to tell? Strategic intensifier, please. Very much so. And then, yeah, I guess, why not? And we're still not quite ready for the Abbey. We want to build this first. Okay. That stuff all seems like useful rush. Okay. This is a good time to have endless mechanisms. So, if we do end up in a war, obviously it would be very unfortunate for our influence point totals. But if we can get exceptional alloys, okay, 5 heroes of level 8. Good work, roving clans. Somebody just built the first Guardian on turn 90, which is quite unusual. Okay, we have so much stuff to deal with. We are one technology away from the next era. So what makes sense? I mean, do we want to try to solve this through... So, which one of these do I think is more exciting? Or are those even the right things to be thinking about? Maybe it's this. We don't have a lot of river. We have a couple of cities that have sea and lakes. Like, maybe the correct play here is to not worry so much about making deals with other players, but just push super hard for United Empires Council. Doubling our diplomatic gains is a big deal. And if you're wondering why I've been talking about accumulating influence for the purpose of making deals, but have not attempted to make many deals yet, it is because I'm intentionally trying not to generate additional influence points, because I don't want to hasten the coming of our first victory notification. After we generate that, I think it's time to like really burn hard. But for the moment, we just want to accumulate resources. And we would definitely like it if some other players would generate victory notifications before we do. So we could just take general empire stats stuff. You know what? I don't have meritocratic promotion. That might be a thing worth getting a piece of. So yeah, you should just do the thing you were told to do. You, on the other hand, let's approach this sensibly. So we get a double search there, but only one of them yields. Pretty terrible stuff, actually. We will stop off at this ruin on our way through Donadan. We did all this research. We know so much more about the mechanisms. That's 3 pearls. I probably should have grabbed those. All this work, and what do we get for it? Industrial processing is the answer to that question. Level up any district in Ovoru to level 2? Okay. That feels very doable. Check. Okay, well, there's technology for us. And you know, all these free techs are, they are accelerating us toward the final era, right? We're gonna all of a sudden gain 3 technologies worth of progress here. 10 Hyperium in a ruin, pretty great reward, actually. All right, let's make this the next move. So, going down the list one by one. Who needs what? You can stay science focused and maybe even just generate one of these and then... Oh no, sorry. We have Imperial funding to pursue. I forgot, we don't have those in all the cities yet because we ran out of the whatchamacallit, the Who's-Its. Alright, so we continue to improve our passive generation of influence, slowly but surely. Okay. So this completing is going to push us into the next era. It does feel like this music is, it's a little bit louder than any other sound effect in the game, right? That's not just me? Hooray, we did it. Industrial processing is a good technology, too. I'm pretty pleased with that. You could finally... You can go get armor ergonomics so that we can pick up cold immunity. Because obviously the damage it does to our ability to move around is pretty annoying. We're being erased. No, you can't have them both. And we still need to go over there, obviously, because we need to endless mechanism search that. Hi. Okay. Remember, they can move through us because we're allied and everything. We're essentially friendly. So... This is interesting. It's extra food and influence if your approval exceeds 100. And our approval certainly exceeds 100. But I wonder if we might be better off just finishing this. Let's finish this first, since I'm not too stressed about the actual effects of winter. Okay, a pretty powerful staff, and our army leading hero actually could use that. 25 Dust Orchid, also potentially interesting. Oh hey, the Lake Zoltan quest. Sure, I'll do that. Yeah, that's very interesting. So down here, we can certainly afford a National Museum. I think the National Kraftwerks has got to be the capital, right? And yes, I did say Kraftwerk. I apologize. That's not. I almost never say that word except in the context of talking about the band, right? Like, what would be the reason that you would do that? So we need to push population here. We've hit our borough cap. Obviously, that's unacceptable. That particular fortress has changed hands so many times this game. All right, so we're out of money. Now that we have... Oh, right. Now that we have 25 Dust Orchid, we should pay attention to the supply of Dust Orchid on the market, because if it ever reaches 10, we can buy ourselves a booster of one of the better luxuries. But yeah, this huge science boost that we have suddenly received is definitely helpful. Why did our dust per turn drop by so much? There's some trade route shenanigans going on. People are causing us to have to refigure things. Alright, yep, just go ahead and refire that. Warning from brown, Cold War from purple. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, 50 additional Titan Bones. Well, you know, it's trade fodder at the very least. Let's keep researching all of these ruins. Tinu is for sure doing that. All of a sudden, a new Urkin emerged after the start of the turn, I feel like. Oh, you know what? It might be because Khazar like left the region. That gave room for a new one to emerge. But yeah, the the roving clans have taken control of Khazar. That's fine. I don't think that affects our strategy or anything at all. At this point, we can probably just be leveling stuff up here. Hold on. Let's not go spending that money right away. I'm going to buy the Dust Orchid that's here. See about that. Okay. Before we move on here, pretty important. Let's make sure we do this. I would love an alliance. I know you're not like super excited. Would you like a huge number of Titan Bones? No, not really. Okay, well then here's a different thing. Here's a different idea I have for you. We are... Nope, sorry. We are in an alliance. How do you feel about that? Oh, exactly the way I told you to. Great. Who would have thought? But that would be the outcome. It turns out science. That's what I care about. Do I have the ability to build any strategic intensifiers over top of titanium deposits? Not really, huh? Because Ingoleth has one already, as does Morktra. And are those the only two cities that we have that have titanium? No. Graldum. Aha, Graldum has a titanium deposit way up here. And there's no district on it. But I don't have pearls. Oh no. How could this happen? It's almost like I'm pursuing an incredibly pearl expensive strategy. Can I trade some pearls off somebody? I'm not even going to ask, Red. I would love if you could, yeah, 5 pearls would be a boon. You would do it for all of the Palladian. You love dye? You love dye so that you can struggle with me, probably. But I think it's fine. Yeah, we can basically just give her all the dye and it doesn't even matter. So we will. We'll do that. We'll put all of the die on the table. Do you care about any of these agreements? Would any of these be... Nope. They're all negative value in her eyes. Mithrite's tough for me right now. I can do some Palladian. Let's not bother with trying to curry favor at this point. I think we're going to have to keep our alliances through force of personality, but, you know, that's still a kind of force. Okay, that'll be lovely. And that'll actually level up a district and everything. That's actually... It will level up 2 districts. That's wonderful. What a good intensifier. I will for sure spend that money. Yep, you got a place to go. And there are more pearls around, but we're definitely going to need more pearls. Wow, a lot of these post-endless mechanism ruins have been empty. Unusual number, I feel like. I mean, I guess we may as well build the pixie blood thing. So now I can't build Imperial funding because of the titanium that it requires. We're having a different problem, and I definitely can't afford to buy very much titanium. Everybody else also having that problem. Did I miss one? I totally missed one. It's always Morktra. You know, it's all tucked away in the corner up there. It's very easy to forget it. So... all of this stuff is leveled up already. I guess you're not. Building here would do that. Or you're not. And yeah, I'm just gonna put it... Oh no, I'm gonna put it right here because it's gonna get us another ruin. That seems good. Are my trade routes bugged? Yeah, we haven't had any trade routes show in quite some time. It's costing us a lot of money. Okay, there we go. 2100. That's right. Didn't we have 2 turns of the low? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine now. We will live. Let's go check this out. An actual deal? Well, no, not really. Yeah, so we still need... For this city, we probably just need to refoodify. I don't know, work on this for a second until I have a better idea. Yeah, we're going to end up needing a really, really huge amount of titanium here in a second. Be a wonderful thing to find, say, in a ruin, perhaps. Well, money can be exchanged for titanium and titanium-related services, so that's something. Is the ship... Okay, the ship is very close. Should definitely be running that. Dust Orchid? No Dust Orchid. No stockpiles. Yeah, nothing really worth pursuing here, I think. Hydromiel. The cost of this hydromiel is bombed out so far. I bet... So what did we end up paying for that? Like 600 or 700? Yeah, and it's going to get us 10,000 back. Or 2,000 back. I was going to say, with us having 6 functional heroes and they're all high level, the cost benefit there has to be in our favor. Okay, so we still have a little bit of money left. I'm not really in a hurry to build these pixie blood extractors. I think these are low priority. This would be cool to have. A lot of people running around my territory all of a sudden. Kind of making me a little bit nervous. Also, holy shit, we've crossed the lava so many times. When is that, when is the curse over? 4 more turns. Okay. Just be very careful not to walk across any lava. Definitely got to make sure we issue this right away. Oh, that's a dust light right there. That is somebody finishing their faction quest. Turn 94. That's you know, that's a pretty reasonable, pretty on pace time for it. Gotta make sure we get there before blue parks there. So, got ourselves exceptional alloys. That's another technology. Purple is on a victory tech already? Yeesh. I guess they have so much territory. Like, yeah, that's not that's not unreasonable. Argbod, please, more science. We're just gonna need a little bit of science. Yeah, maybe the plan is just like hard science push. So here's a question. If we do, let's say, hard science push, which city ends up producing the most? It could be the capital. It could be Argbod's city. She is very powerful. All right, is that every city, every citizen? Yes. And it is, in fact, Artem producing the most. And I think Artem also has a lot of growth potential. So this is where we're putting down the living lab tools. We are going to have to buy them out, obviously. It's not that expensive to do so. But I think we might have to put on the gas a little bit here. Unfortunately, we have discovered something that we can put on the gas toward. Having a ridiculously healthy trade economy, also very helpful in this respect. And gosh, do we ever need all of the titanium now? Like 100% of the world's titanium. Can we see who finished their faction quest? Who caused a dust light to spawn? We want to go to quest. It was blue. Okay. So we have to look out for blue to start building the temple potentially. And we're at 1.6. I mean, it's a lot of gain since the beginning of the episode, but obviously the math is not in our favor right now. Oh my god, we have so much distance to make up. This is never gonna... Yeah, I have negative feelings. I'm concerned. Yeah, science plus science from trade routes. How much science are we pulling from trade right now? Not very much. Not very much. So... probably this is next. I don't know when it's going to kick the first victory notification. My guess would be at half. So I guess I would have guessed 1625. Clearly not the case. Oh, you're not in the alliance. What is your deal? What were you thinking? Very irresponsible. Okay, there we go. 41. So yeah, maybe we should start. Let's get our next empire plan done, and then we can talk about how we're going to spend the rest of our resources for potentially the rest of the game. And am I just producing science stockpiles at this point? I mean, maybe. I am so concerned. Were we to buy titanium? Okay, yeah, I mean, there is some. Gonna buy it all. No dust orchid to be had. Okay, so that allows us to build some science structures. It does not. Never mind. We just don't have that many different things to build, honestly. Alright, well... Go ahead and finish this, I suppose. And then you can build another burrow and just keep leveling things up, which is fun. Be able to buy that out for sure next turn. Okay. So maybe the National Craftworks should have been in this city instead. I mean, this is still a lot of influence here. So, like, dye being double effective on this city is a big deal. In a different way. We do still have to care about our influence. So we will know if they... Oh, right. I stopped here because I was going to search a ruin. It had 150 dust in it. Hooray! And now we have immunity to that movement loss. And then... Well, Green's borders aren't close to me. I guess let's go search ruins in their territory. Roving clans are in control of 2 of the Urkins over here now. In addition to, you know, a hell of a lot of troops. What is purple? Purple's moving a lot of units around a lot of the time. I don't know. Purple is market banned. As is red. Interesting that they're the only ones. Maybe they can afford to weasel out of it. So, let's go back up this way. Search the ruins in my territory. Cool. These ruins are cursed. Who could imagine such a thing? Okay, we do have the ability to drop some Imperial funding somewhere. You already have it, right? Yeah, the capital already has it. You know what? Graldum's a fine place to suddenly have even more funding. We should probably buy out this as well. I just got an achievement titled The Exterminator? For what? What could I possibly have done that turn that would make an exterminator of me? Okay, the Moonleaf is definitely going to have to be juiced a little bit. Ugh, man. No thank you. I don't do war. Although, it is worth noting, I don't think I've talked about it explicitly. It has not been relevant, certainly. But when at war with somebody, you do still get 1 diplomatic point per turn from them, I believe. So it would not harm our income to go to war with Pink. Has a really good chance of harming our face, though. More food, please. More bodies means more resources. An infamous political philosopher will give you spices if you decide to destroy your whole plan for no reason. I don't think that person has our best interests at heart. That's my feeling. Okay, so we're working on the Arts Council. It looks like, sadly, okay, this we can afford to do. We should definitely prioritize, Okay, I was going to say prioritize the highest population cities, but it turns out we have several cities that are the highest population city. I guess this one is lower because it doesn't have a chapel. It only has 2 villages. So these 2 are both actually at 19 bodies. Hey, that one actually had something in it. Ooh, 25 Hyperium. Not bad. You know, it's not titanium, but it might be tradable for titanium. And then hopefully the other players will use it to attack and baffle each other. Alright, so Ovoru also pretty close to being at 13 population. This is a little awkward because the way the village breaks up the shape of the city. So I'm going to build here to level that up, and then we'll... Yeah. Yeah, that seems fine. Do we have enough money to rush this? Okay, I would like to do that. That seems important. Actually, that left over a lot of cash. Oh, also, this is a higher priority. 1.5k does not even buy a burrow. Oh, right. Also, I'm supposed to be saving up for this. Well, that's important too, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to get Arts Council. It's going to put us at 4 tax. So we need to research 5 more technologies real fast, and then this. All right. We're bringing in 600 influence per turn without having a single person in the entire empire focused on influence, which is pretty great. Like I said, you know, just leveling up your districts, it really adds up. It adds up a lot. Yeah, so I think once we hit turn 100, we'll put in that empire plan, and then we'll just go as hard as we possibly can on trade. Out of curiosity, not that I'm saying we're going to do this, but we absolutely could do this. I mean, we probably are, right? That seems like a good idea. It's good work if you can afford it. All right, and the Moonleaf. Hell yeah. People are selling Moonleaf like crazy. Nobody wants this stuff. It's very out of fashion. What about Dust Orchid? Nope, still no Dust Orchid. There may just not be a lot of Dust Orchid. I think at this player size, at the world size we're playing at, every luxury resource is always on the map. I know on the smaller player sizes, they do like exclude some number of the types from the game randomly, but I don't know. Pretty sure we're getting all of them. It's just whoever has the Dust Orchid is hoarding it. You don't have any. You got a bunch of Moonleaf, which is kind of funny. Who wants to trade me some? One. But the fact that he has 1 Dust Orchid probably means that he is producing. He's just also consuming. All right, our extremely prolific Palladian wines once again coming through. All right, now I need one more. Do you have some? You do. Okay. Would you also like a ton of Palladian? You want more than a ton of Palladian. You are out of your mind, sister. Hey, you. Give me your one. Oh no, not you. You. No? Was I wrong? Who had the you? It was you. It was you. Give me yours. I will pay you for it in... No, not glass steel. Glass steel's too valuable. Yes, Titan bones. Titan bones I can part with. This is a pretty reasonable exchange rate, right? 26 to 1? Okay, there we go. 5,500 science per turn. It's something. It's definitely an actual research rate. Yeah, okay, it puts us up with some of the other players. Purple is really... Jeez. They have a victory tech, right? Yeah. Where's the part where they stopped getting... Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the science thing, not the actual technologies thing. Okay, here's where they were researching that. And here is where blue is researching theirs. And it looks like lilac very well, or lavender may very well be working on one as well. Okay, well, everybody's shifting into the late game strategy phase. It feels like a little bit earlier this game than they usually do, right? That's very interesting. Not awesome in a game where we are kind of playing a slow victory type. Anyway, with that expression of concern, I think that's going to be it for us for today. And thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time on Monday, we're going to have to navigate this forest of all of a sudden rapidly firing engines and figure out how we're going to just boost past all of them through the power of friendship, because I told you have to be friends with me. And that's what that word means, apparently. And we'll see you then.